Welcome to the Rules of Robbins. Today, we delve into the core of human performance, confronting the most devastating illusion that plagues modern ambition, the misconception that lasting change is a gradual, painstaking process governed by massive, exhausting willpower. This premise is fatally flawed, because the absolute truth is that willpower is a temporary strategy for a long-term problem. And true, permanent transformation is an instantaneous event achieved by strategically mastering the two foundational forces that govern all human action: pain and pleasure. And the moment you align these two primal drivers, your destiny shifts from a tiresome, resistant struggle to an unstoppable, low-effort certainty. The journey begins by recognizing the chasm between desire and destiny, the reason individuals fail to change, even when facing severe consequences, is their failure to convert a mere want into an absolute must, compelling them to identify and leverage their personal leverage point. Pillar 1, absolute leverage. Every single human being, without exception, possesses a unique psychological or spiritual pressure point, be it their children, their deepest values, their sense of dignity, or a non-negotiable standard of their own identity. And your primary, non-negotiable assignment is to ruthlessly locate that point where the perceived pain of staying becomes so overwhelmingly massive that change is no longer a hopeful option, but an immediate, non-negotiable, survival-level necessity that overrides all resistance, inertia, and comfort. Once this leverage is locked in, the change is physically executed not in the slow, negotiating mind, but in the rapid, non-disputable command center of the body, the nervous system, through a process known as neuro-associative conditioning, NAC, Pillar 2, NAC and association. The nervous system is the ultimate dictator, making decisions based on deeply ingrained associations of pain and pleasure that have been wired over years. And the fastest way to change behavior is not through slow drip learning, but through a single, emotionally charged experience that instantly swaps the association from pleasure to pain, proving that all change happens in a single moment, the moment of decision. This mechanism is sabotaged when we mistakenly link pain to necessary, life-enhancing actions, such as associating consistent exercise with crushing exhaustion, or linking authentic vulnerability with the past pain of betrayal. And these faulty internal associations, not a lack of innate discipline, are what ensure failure. Therefore, the strategic imperative is to apply this principle intentionally. You must consciously use extreme emotional force to interrupt the old, destructive pattern and immediately apply overwhelming, visceral pain to the destructive habit, simultaneously linking massive, immediate, overwhelming pleasure to the new, empowering behavior. Ensuring this emotional command is felt in your gut, not just debated in your head. However, the most insidious force working against permanent change is the subtle creation of the escape route, which is the psychological defense mechanism designed to allow the pain-pleasure imbalance to slowly re-establish itself. Pillar 3, destroying escape routes. When the present moment of transformation becomes challenging, most people default to escaping the necessary pressure by either retreating to the past, romanticizing the good old days of a bad habit or a toxic relationship, using selective memory to neutralize the pain, or escaping to a fabricated, self-comforting future, clinging to the passive, unsupported hope that it will all magically get better someday without any change in action. To make the transformation irreversible, you must destroy these escape routes by enforcing the Dickens Pattern, a strategy that forces your brain to link an unbearable, exponential amount of pain to the destructive behavior across all three dimensions of time. Past, it was a profound, time-wasting mistake. Present, it is agonizing and unacceptable right now. I cannot stand this 1 second longer. And future, if I continue this path, the future is a guaranteed, exponentially worse, an inescapable catastrophe. By creating this unassailable psychological wall of pain in the past, present, and future, you eliminate all possibility of retreat, leaving the brain with only one non-negotiable option: to instantly surge forward into the new, pleasurable behavior, forcing you to align with your highest identity. This final commitment to action is what then elevates you to the grand historical perspective, where you realize that these personal battles are merely microcosms of the larger cycles of life and history. Pillar 4, historical context. Just as nature moves through seasons, society moves through predictable cycles, and our current state of global turmoil and economic uncertainty is merely a winter season, characterized by external chaos and pressure, which has historically occurred and is destined to give way to a springtime of growth and boom. The common, fatal error is to freeze to death during the winter by reducing focus, lowering standards, and waiting for the external world to change. The master strategy is to get strong in winter to amplify focus, relentlessly raise standards, and strategically expand, leveraging the reduced competition and the necessity for innovation that only severe pressure creates. This strategy is proven by the ultimate statistic: an overwhelming 65% of Fortune 1000 companies were founded or made their most decisive moves during a recession or depression, demonstrating that winter is not a time for contraction, but the ultimate incubator for greatness. Therefore, your commitment is to merge this grand strategy with your personal psychology, relentlessly control your focus by replacing disempowering questions with empowering ones. Enforce your highest standards by utilizing the irresistible force of the Dickens Pattern to eliminate destructive behaviors. And understand that every present challenge is merely the perfect pressure designed to forge the champion required to dominate the inevitable springtime, proving that your success is not found by hoping, but decisively created by controlling your associations and taking absolute, uncompromising responsibility for your life.